Breaking news as Trevon Diggs and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to a massive contract extension on the eve of training camp starting. It's a 5-year, $97 million deal. Can be worth up over $100 million as Diggs and the Cowboys get the long-term deal done, the first of what is hopefully multiple extensions to come. When Cowboys news happens, we break it down. It's actually the third video of today. We did surprise cut candidates this morning from the ESPN roster projection. The Zach Martin holdout being made official did not get a YouTube push notification because we'd had too much content, they said. That's what we do. We give you a ton of shit here on the Cowboys Report, all of it good. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. It is not just an agreed-to deal, but a signed deal between Diggs and the Cowboys. The full in-depth contract details not fully known yet, but a 5-year, $97 million deal worth up to $104 million for the Cowboys' number one corner, one of the most productive playmakers in the entire NFL. It's the first of what is hopefully multiple extensions to be done in the next couple of days or weeks or maybe even a month or two from that perspective. Like I mentioned, not just agreed to, signed as well. Nick Eatman, the Cowboys.com writer, shared this photo. Diggs signing his extension. Looks like it's at one of the hotels or the lobby, whatever it is, out in Oxnard. Either way, a signed, done deal for Trevon Diggs, who is now one of the highest paid corners in the NFL at his position. Here are the details we know so far. 5-year deal. The base money is $97 million. Now, assuming there's no funny money and, because there is the incentives mentioned, but assuming that's the actual base money that's been reported, that's a $19.4 million average per year salary, tied for 5th in the NFL. The max money, which would include some incentives from that perspective, not sure what those incentives are, from you've got the 10 interceptions, not going to be earned. It's not going to count on the salary cap right now. Could be tied to NFC championships. Super Bowls is a fun one the Cowboys put in because they'd love to pay that if they just won a damn Super Bowl. But up to $104 million. The signing bonus, we don't know the full guaranteed money, which is a big factor. Maybe we'll know that tomorrow for tomorrow's video. $21.25 million signing bonus will be spaced out over the 5 years of the deal. I would assume they're adding on to the 1 year left, so it's really going to be the full new contract would be more like 6 years, $105-ish million, $103, $104 million overall, so it won't have a big impact on the cap this year. So what is your one-word reaction to the Trevon Diggs mega contract extension? If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and give me that one-word reaction in the comments right now. My first word is pleased. I am glad this deal got done. It's one thing off of the itinerary, one checkbox marked for the Cowboys as they have several deals they want to get done, including but limited to Lamb, Prescott, Steele, and Zach Martin. And if you guys have been subscribed, I'm a bit surprised it was the first one to get done. I was worried about this deal. The gap in contracts at cornerback, knowing the Cowboys had the franchise tag available next year as available if needed for Trevon Diggs. In the gaps between Jair Alexander, the highest paid corner, and what Carlton Davis, J.C. Jackson got these past couple off seasons, I was worried might lead to a bigger threshold to clear than, say, getting the CeeDee Lamb deal done, which is probably going to be a bit more than A.J. Brown. That all makes sense to me. I am glad, however, the Cowboys are getting this deal done. This was a priority. This was a key. You wanted to lock up one of your best young defenders. You do so early. It is the first proactive extension from the Cowboys since 2019. That is how long it has been since they didn't drag their feet on a deal. They get it done with Trevon Diggs, who leads the NFL in interceptions since 2021, more than the entire Raiders defense combined. Entering this deal, this is what the highest paid cornerback market learned. This is what I kind of alluded to, right? Jair Alexander, $21 million. J.C. Jackson, $16.5. That's Carlton Davis below $15 million. That's like a $5-ish million gap between what you could have started at for Trevon Diggs and what maybe Diggs wanted to get to. In the end, they do meet somewhere in the middle at $19.4 million per year, the same average per year as what Marshawn Lattimore has gotten. Now, that's on a different salary cap scale, so not being the highest paid corner, just beating out some other players, I think is actually a pretty fair deal when it's all said and done for Diggs and the Cowboys. So glad this one got done and got done proactively. So grade the signing of Trevon Diggs. A, B, C, D, or F. You can get your votes in for me in the comments. Knowing what we know so far, what are you going to give this contract extension? I'm going to give it a B. I want to see the guaranteed money because that does play a big factor, the structure, etc. Maybe the guaranteed money comes in around $45, $50-ish million. We'll see what it really is. Shouldn't have a massive base salary in year one or in year two. I do want to see the real structure, but I probably won't go below a B, all things considered, because I want to see just where it ranks among guaranteed deals, see how much winning of the deal did the Dallas Cowboys actually do in this negotiation, but it's a good deal. That's what a B is, a good deal, I believe, for the Cowboys. Diggs' last 2 years, look, the numbers have been very good. The completion percentage went up this past year, but a lot of that was shorter passes as teams did not throw his way and said, let's throw it the Nashawn Wright, Kelvin Joseph, etc. dumpster fire that was on the field last year. I actually thought he played better this year, despite the completion percentage going up a little bit and the interceptions going down. There were some plays he could have made, but look, you're talking about a guy who's got 14 interceptions and 35 pass breakups the past 2 years. That's awesome production. So the haters and losers, I'm sure, will be in shambles and rip on the deal, blah, blah, blah. But this is a good move here by the Dallas Cowboys. So now it locks you into not just DaRon Bland under contract next year, but Trevon Diggs as well. You have a little bit more stability than what you could have had in the scenario in which you were unable to get a deal done with Trevon Diggs and you had to figure out a franchise tag and what do you do with Terrence Steele, who, by the way, is on the PUP list. Was all kind of complicated from that perspective. You've checked off one of the big boxes this offseason. Who gets paid next by the Dallas Cowboys? Is it CeeDee Lamb? Someone else? Get those predictions in for me in the comment section. 4 names to monitor here: CeeDee Lamb, Terrence Steele, Dak Prescott, and of course, Mr. Holdout, Zach Martin. Now, I will make note, Terrence Steele, some good news here, is not on the physically unable to perform list, which is a really good sign for him. He is going to be good to go for day 1 of Cowboys training camp. He'll be in there at right tackle. Will not have Zach Martin. As for the salary cap impact, the Cowboys have about $20 million to spend. Should not carry a significant impact here. With it being a 5-year deal, with the way the signing bonus is set up, and I would assume carrying over the remaining year of the deal, which kind of have to, shouldn't change too much. Diggs' base salary was only $4.34 million. I would assume that's how the Cowboys typically do business, but it is assuming. You know what happens when you assume that base salary will be converted into a signing bonus. And the year 1 signing bonus impact for the Cowboys is $4.25 million. Now, you still have to have a minimal base salary impact around $900,000. So the full cap hit then would be around $5 million plus his previous signing bonus. So I would guess, and it's all a guess, depends on how they want to structure it. If they are including that base salary this year as a signing bonus, the cap hit probably jumps to an extra $1 million. Maybe it's $6 million total. That's a very minimal impact on your cap hit this year, and then we'll have more cap hits later on. You're doing it a year early. It's not going to be massive cap hits early on in the contract with the way the Cowboys likely structured this deal. 2 other minor news notes, which we will go more in depth on tomorrow. Jordan Lewis has been placed on the physically unable to perform list. No surprise there. He's still recovering from his foot injury. Luke Schoonmaker placed on the non-football injury list. He's been dealing with plantar fascia. He's going to miss some time. It's a big deal for Jake Ferguson Hendershot. It's unfortunate news, though, for Luke Schoonmaker. More on that tomorrow, so make sure you guys are subscribed.